Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Anyone has any questions we can discuss? Any more questions? Look, we don't have any set pattern of anything. So if whatever works best, because at the end our aim is to be free. So all the ways what we do, everything is fine. So if Suzanne wants to ask further or anyone wants to discuss something, we are open.
I want to say something.
Yes.
That most of the time when I'm with people, that's fine. I don't get too caught up in anything. But now when I'm asking you a question, I feel a little bit nervous. I don't know. That's just I'm just being honest, because I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. You're
Yeah.
watching that nervousness. That's okay. Watching whatever is happening, you are just watching it. You know it, and that's okay. Nothing, nothing much,
Okay.
nothing important about it.
Thank you.
Sanjay, can I ask you a question? This is Anusha here.
Yes, Anusha, where is your video?
Okay, I'll bring up my video. How do I bring up my video now?
That's have you?
My phone is saying unable to access camera.
That's okay. Don't worry. Just tell us.
Okay, my question is, we are in this illusion of Maya, the Maya illusion, and I just keep, a lot of people keep asking the same question: how did this illusion come about? I tried to look up, and I actually don't have an answer as to how did this illusion, the whole thing started. Why are we in this illusion? Why are we the distorted image of the absolute truth?
Because you have.
How did this whole thing started?
Because you have bite that apple, you know. It came with the apple bite.
Right.
So the same question was asked to Bhagavan hundreds and times. He said the same thing. Why you worry that how I got into the ditch, you know, try to get out of it. If you are in pit, why I am pit, how, who put me in pit? There was a dark, someone has pushed you, now just get out of it. Who cares why I am here, you know? Bhagavan always said the same thing, and that is exactly right. Why should if we ask this question, we are actually getting more into illusion. Better to just get out of it. Once you are out of it, then it's all good.
So I'm just wondering, I'm just for the sake of just saying this. So if I know how I got in, maybe it's easier to get out.
Now you really want to have an answer?
No, just to continue the conversation.
No, look, we are not here just to gossip or continue conversation. If conversation ends and everyone gets self-abidance, that's the best. Satsang finished, all self-abidance finished.
Right.
That will be the best. We don't want to continue. We are not following
what's told in the scriptures.
If you see it is an illusion, and now you are saying that how it came. If it is an illusion, it never came. Do you get my point? And how to get out of it is, again, you have to disillusion yourself. So awareness we are all awareness, but it is an illusion. So it didn't, we are in illusion. To get out of the illusion doesn't mean that there is something real. There's nothing real about it. So when you say how we got into it, we never got into it. This is just a wrong concept. So it's a matter of wrong concept, and we have to just know the truth, and that's all. They give a beautiful example of this. I'm not sure whether I've discussed that there was a man who took his donkey to take all the washermen who took all the clothes to wash clothes at the river, and that day he forget the rope to tie his donkey, and he has to go back. But then he thought, how will he do? A man said, you are so stupid, just pretend that you are putting a rope around the donkey and tie it to the tree. And he said, how would it work? He said, it will work, just do it. And he did it, and the donkey didn't move the whole day, and he kept working and watching the donkey from a distance. And then he was amazed. Then at evening, when he finished washing all the clothes and he put it on his donkeys and then wanted to move, the donkey was not moving. Then that guy reminded him again, now just the artificial rope which is around the neck, just untie from the tree. And he did it, and the donkey started moving. So we are those donkeys, There's illusion, and we have to get rid of the illusion. Just we have to do this drama of disillusion. That's all. No one is in bondage.
Okay. I just see. And the thing is, the why I asked you this question is not just to have a conversation or anything. It's just actually every time we have a spiritual gathering or something, this question comes about, and no one seemed to give a convincing answer or an answer that makes sense. So that's the reason why I brought this up. I just wanted to know from Ramana Maharshi's point of view, what would be the answer for such a question? And you've just said that we don't have to worry about how we got caught in this illusion, rather think about coming out of it. So that makes sense to me.
Thank you, Anushaji.
What in the scriptures it is told is when your shika or your hair is on fire, will you say how it started, or you'll jump into the river or put some water on it?
The pure awareness is always readily available to all of us. And the mind which goes out interacting in the world, seeing objects, interpreting objects, having relationships with the living beings, it is the same mind. We don't have two minds, it is the same mind. When it looks within and is interested in this pure awareness, which we also call self or God, whatever name you want to say, when it looks within and starts getting taste of that pure awareness, the silence, peace coming out of that awareness, it gets more and more into it. And then what happens is, this is the same mind which just finishes itself into the self. So there are not two self, or I should not say that there is a mind and then there is a self. At the moment it looks like that because our attention is always outward. But the moment your attention goes inward, you will start seeing this mind or the ego slowly fading away. So the change occurs in a way that the body as such, there are some small subtle changes in the body, but nothing much changes. The voice stays the same, your body looks the same, but it has been taken over. It has been taken over by the real owner inside this body, not the fake owner who just thinks that I am this body and mind and I'm controlling. The control is somewhere else. All of us, all the body mind complexes are controlled The script is being written, it is working as the script goes, and we are just mere witness to it. Because why? Because that awareness is the same all pervading awareness, though it is speaking through one body mind complex. How do you know it? Just paying attention to that awareness. How do you know what is awareness? The one which is uninvolved, one which is never participating in anything, which is not supporting this body mind in any type of defense mechanism. Let's say people feel pity on themselves that whole world is against them, they are the good people, people are bad, and this is what happened in my life, and I've got PTSD because of I have suffered so much. All this is what? This is the story of the body mind complex, which keeps repeating tape showing self pity or self importance. This self is ego only. None of us are that ego. It is just an illusion. We all are just a witness to these things unfolding in the life. Sometimes there are very beautiful things happening in this life which we are seeing, and sometimes the things are tragic. Nobody wants them to happen. And it is true, even in dream you don't want a bad dream, isn't it? We say this word is Maya, illusion, and how does it matter what happens in dream? But who would love to see nightmares, bad dreams? So when we detach and we watch the story unfolding, good and bad and things, then we are not affected. Maybe a little bit affected in a way that something happens big, Anyway, you have a heart and you are still playing a role, but you can watch from the awareness as impersonal presence rather than attaching to that story so much that it is me and my family and this, because you know that you are awareness and the story is going on. And the moment you become a witness, you get the power. You are at the right spot where you have to be. The contentment, peace, bliss, truth, everything is contained in awareness. You don't have to cultivate anything. You don't have to uh, preach yourself that I will not steal, or I will say truth, or I will love everyone. It just happens. Opposite to this all happens when we are in ego mode. Some people can say that in ego mode also, people who are not enlightened, they are doing charity, they are doing a lot of good stuff, and they are really good people. And I have no doubts about it. People have done a lot of good things and they were never enlightened souls and never even looking into spirituality. But maybe because they were doing all the goodness, they had a very, very tiny ego left. Though they were not practicing, they were practicing karma yoga in a way, doing for others. But still, how goodness you are doing, still, if you're not looking from that awareness, you still have some personality left, that ego left, which is the bondage of ongoing birth and death life cycle. And also, if you speak to someone who has a very good reputation, if they are a close friend of yours, or if you know them personally, they will tell how much they are suffering within. This is the truth. People don't understand this because for you from outside, you think everything is fine. Has anyone read those Mother Teresa's letters she sent? I don't think you will find a better example than Mother Teresa. She did the most beautiful work, goodness to whole world. She treated leprosy patients with her hand. She did all the good things. But have you read those letters which she sent to that person about how dark she feels inside, how unhappy she is inside? Because at the end of the day, you have to leave this ego. You have to leave the stuff in you which causes all the suffering, that personhood, that ego identity, that individual who thinks he is body mind. Whatever good you do or whatever happens in life, it doesn't matter. until you attach to this ego, until you think you are this body mind. There is no way. All the ways are pointing towards free from the ego, egolessness, desirelessness, getting rid of the personhood and being just pure presence. How it will happen? It will not happen unless you try for it by right technique and means. And then the grace flows of that awareness in you. It dissolves the ego, it dissolves all the desires, because it has its own pull. Places like satsang is a push within. And when today, someone was asking me who loves these satsangs, but she told me that she doesn't understand. In that group, people keep posting the pictures of that old man, and everyone is so loving and respecting and give every credit to that old man from India. I said, look, this is the thing. When you make someone guru or teacher in your mind, you read his teachings and you practice and you get that fulfillment, you get that contentment and peace, you get that freedom. What would you do? Would you How can you, someone who left his body 70 years back, what would you do? You can only say thank you. What else can you do? You can have feeling of gratitude. And that is what people in the group show, their love for him, and keep on repeating the same. But it is not easy for some people to understand this, because teaching is one thing, but after teaching, what happens? What you get? You get love, you get devotion. What would you say if you get what you're looking for? That you are that, and when you abide in that and you realize it, what comes from the mouth? Only thank you, isn't it? So this illusion, if you try to get it from the mind, it gets more deeper and deeper. You can't get out of it. The best and the simplest and the direct method of this non-dual awareness, Advaita, just watching as a witness, just watching, just be the witness. It is not that difficult, because I know, and we have discussed in past, and so many of us have realized, when that ugly head of the ego arises in us, we know exactly that it is coming and we can nip on the bud. We know it is coming. Nobody else has to teach us or tell us that you are egoistic or no. Maybe I will tell you that most of the spiritual seekers are very humble, full of humility, and they are very kind-hearted. So nobody really says to them that you are an egoistic person, but they themselves know, even if 1% is left, that pinches them. And that is their insight and wisdom. And they even want to get rid of that 1% left to be completely free. And this happens in when you are in the witness box. You are witness to whatever is unfolding within. Mainly it is about within, not the people around. We are not interested to comment on people, how they are behaving and what they are doing. It is their business. We are here to correct our internal structure, our software. Once we have fixed, there's nothing else to be done. And if others have to do, it is their task. So we are always accepting people as they are, but our job is to know ourselves, and others' job is to know themselves. So let them do or not do, it is none of our business. Our job is to know our true self, and the best way is to always stay in that witness box, but not like a paranoid, watching the mind, or my mind is thinking like this. If you start analyzing the thoughts, it will produce more thoughts and you will be more trapped. So there is no analysis of the mind happens in this process. We take lump sum we ignore all thoughts, and we stay as a witness. And everything what comes intuitively in our life, whatever comes, good or bad, we accept it with thank you, with gratitude. Nothing right, nothing wrong. Everything is as it is. We accept it in totality. Then what happens is that all this resistance from our energy going into resistance and fighting the life the way it is going is not there. That all energy gets focused on awareness. Because if we start liking and disliking people around, we again comes into the ego mode. That is the job of an individual as a person, of a leader or a political leader or a religious leader or a dictator or a bureaucrat or whatever, reformer. We are none of these roles. Our job is just to look within, correct the internal structure, and just be free. And to do this, it is so beautifully written in the scriptures that treat everyone with love and respect. Even if someone is a killer, he is the most worst person in the world, let it be. Whole world thinks bad, but we should not bring any negativity against, because our energy, we just want to finish this dream illusion, bring that energy back and just stay as pure. We should even have compassion for a person, a bad person. How unhappy that person would be. You know, what is within comes out of a person. If you are unhappy, you can't make others happy. And if you are making others unhappy, that means so unhappy you are within. And another thing is, the word is the reflection of your own self. We see bad in others because there is bad in us. And it is not just a saying, it is truth. See how things start changing when you abide in awareness. Even when, because of your old habits, reading about, you see bad people and you know they have done bad, but you still love the being. You can't hate, even if you want to. Though you hate, you dislike the act done by that person, but you can't hate anyone. That is the nature of awareness. Even if you want to go back to that personality, nothing is left. So we have to finish that 1% or 0.1% of ego left. Let burn away everything in this fire of knowledge. So even if you want to go back, there's nothing. There's just emptiness. And this emptiness is very profound. It is so profound that not you are touched internally, but everything around you will be touched. Not human beings, but with the birds, animals, trees, everything around you. See the beauty of Bhagavan, even the small animals and birds and monkeys, everyone was his family. Everyone was around him, Snake, tiger. At one night he heard tiger's sound, and someone went for, I think maybe for defecation or something at night. One of the persons, Bhagavan actually went there and went and said to the tiger that please go away, this guy will get frightened. Went and spoke to him in Tamil. And then tiger left. Who will believe it? Who will believe it? Monkeys, they had a fight, and one of the monkeys was killed when they were making a road. And those monkeys came and they told Bhagavan, Bhagavan understood them. The monkey has died, and they were making roads, so they were all against that engineer. And Bhagavan said, you don't worry, it will be all correct. And then Bhagavan sorted out. Then engineer Kate said sorry, and then everything was sorted out. So he was not sorting out human beings, animals, all sorts of animals. where he didn't know anyone's language, but everyone knows the language of love, unconditional love. The animals kill us or bite us when they are scared of us. When they know, they have this sixth sense, they understand that this person is harmless. And what makes us harmless? When there is no ego. That egolessness makes us the purest of pure. Purest of pure. We should all strive hard to be that, with patience, with perseverance, and knowing that we are the true devotees of Bhagavan, and Bhagavan's blessings are on us. And this is such a direct and simple path, just to stay as a witness. You don't have to do any yoga postures or any japas, but yes, if you think those things are helping you, and if your heart goes into it, please go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong with that also. But all the time, try to stay away from that personhood. Even if someone comes and entices you and irritates you, you know that you are not advocating this body-mind. That absolute awareness will take care of it in whatever way it has to. And you stay in your presence mode when interacting with people. And you will see the power of staying as a pure presence. Even without saying even a single word, people around you become so loving towards you, loving towards everything. And sometimes you feel ashamed why they are doing so much for you. I have not done anything for them. This is the power of presence, this power of pure presence in us. It's like we have this jewel which is deep seated in our heart, in the cave. As you know, Bhagavan has written that beautiful Sanskrit shloka, which is there when you go to Ramana ashram, where the stone bench is, where the Bhagavan's statue is. It says there, in the middle of your heart, this cave is that pure self. And it is being covered with our ego, with our mind, with our concepts, personhood. And when you stay in awareness, all these, it gets uncovered, this jewel, and it shines forth. And it shines, and the fragrance, it spreads. And that fragrance is not limited to you, it just goes. They say that even the gods and goddesses, Brahmarishis, angels, everyone comes to watch, to smell, to taste, to have that company. How beautiful it is. And we all have that innate ability, capacity to do that. Even if you are so attached to this body, the body will leave you, isn't it? How long will it stay with you? And then what will happen? Then another body. And then what will happen? Another body. When will this end? Only when you want to finish it, when you have no more attachment and desires for this game to continue. And if that is what you want, then that pure absolute is always waiting for you. If you have played enough this game, he will say, come back home. So we all know the time when we were kids and we are playing outside and our mother is asking us to come back home, do your homework, and you are still playing outside. I think those times have gone now. Everyone is on their PlayStations inside the house, but during those old times. But here this mother, the absolute mother, has left us, that you can play as long as you want. When you want to come back, let me know, call me and come back. So if your call is if your inner call is to come back, this mother is there with open arms to hug you and welcome you back home. But when you come back home, then you can't pick up anything which was there outside in the playground. You have to come empty-handed. Then you are allowed. If you are still want to play and then you want to come back, then it's not possible. You have to choose one. Because we have played enough, I think. That's why we are all think, let's come back home. You know, we have played this Leela, this Maya, this illusion. So long we were into it. Now we have decided, let's come back home. Let's come to the reality. Let's have the reality check. And this satsang is a reality check, actually. Because here we know we can talk. We are not ashamed to talk what reality is. Same conversation if you have outside, probably they might suggest you to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Or maybe a nutcase. The reason is because majority wins everywhere. In elections, it is not the truth wins in democracy, it is the majority wins. And what majority is in, we all know, in illusion. So if you go out and shout, among 1,000 people, not one person will be there to support you. So it's better to just do your own sadhana, sit in your house, and have some people who are still at the same wavelength and they understand it. And that is the importance of satsang, to bring that energy. So your focus is there. And you abide in the truth, in the self. And it is not difficult at all. It is just because our energy is dissipated in so many things which we do in this world. And if we keep doing all those things with interest, not disinterested action, with interest, with passion, even after millions of years, you will be the same, still searching but not reaching. So disinterested action for rest of all things is the key to stay in awareness. Whatever the action is happening, the body is doing, let it happen in the most beautiful way, but no credit to yourself when everything is happening perfectly right. And in the same vein, when the things goes wrong, no discredit to this body-mind complex. Because who is the one who owns that, oh, I have done wrong, I have done right? It is only ego. We have to dissolve it. We have to get rid of this mediator. So the person in awareness does not take any credit or discredit. Though he can say sorry for anything to anyone. Because it is the path of no resistance and harmony. We are not building walls, we are just opening up. It's a constant flow of energy. And in living in this harmony is a blessing in itself. Whether you have money or not, nobody knows you or not, or whatever is around, nothing matters. And this is the reason why all these sages and saints who live in caves, they don't want to come down and speak to people, or they are so happy in that, because everything around them is in harmony with them, all animals, birds, plants, everything. It is only the human beings who can resist, who can crucify these sages. Not the birds, plants. They are in harmony with God already. It is the devil mind of a human being which can disrespect the person in self-abidance. That purest of pure It's only the human mind can kill that person. So I believe that the best course of action is don't worry about anything. Pay attention to the pure awareness. And if you need other tools which you think can help, taking a name, seeing a picture, having some devotion, reading scriptures, nothing wrong with that. Because eventually when you are there, you are there. Because you are already there. All these techniques are to dissolve the mind. Dissolve the mind, paying attention to the pure awareness. And if you want to be faster on this path, so you can achieve it in no time, it all depends on your intense yearning for this and paying attention here rather than what people are doing, what is happening in the world and politics and whatever. All the time attention. As Bhagavan used to say that when whatever is happening, he is just, for him it looks like a dream. He's in a dream. He doesn't know sometimes what the time is, what is happening. He's in his own. So many times he was just sitting and he was staring in that emptiness. If you see his staring is like, you make a movie by a camera and the camera is just moving. It's not registering who is doing what. It is just pure seeing, no judgment, no likes, no dislikes, no analysis. Accepting everyone, everything as it is, with love. And this type of seeing has its own power because this is coming from pure awareness. You can't do this by ego. Nobody can do with ego. You can only pretend to be liking people. You cannot do. You have to leave this ego. You can decorate this ego by nice words and sorry and please and can I do this for you, but sitting in awareness, even you don't say even a single word, it conveys the truth. You don't even need a language. The pure silence speaks on its own, does not need any language. What is the language of love? If someone loves you unconditionally, what language do you want? Can't you see love from the eyes of the person, his gestures, his mannerism? Eyes speak everything about a person. The look of a person looking towards you, what that stare means. Even the touch of a mother, touch of a lover, touch of a person who has wrong motives, same touch feels so different, isn't it? So that touch of awareness, when we live in awareness, is so different. The eyes which look through awareness are so different. The whole body is in command of that pure awareness. But who understands this? This is something you cannot understand by mind. You have to leave the mind and just intuitively feel it from your heart. The truth of your own beingness, the purity of your beingness. When you give away the layers of ego, intellect, mind, your desires, your likings, dislikings. Leave away all these. These are none of your things. They all belong to the matter. Body, mind is a matter. The mind is a subtle matter, but it's still part of matter. While you are pure awareness, eternal, always the same, without any change. If you understand this, if you accept this from your heart, most of the job is already done. Because your understanding and your accepting this truth will do its job on its own. Nothing else needs to be done. But can you keep your heart on your chest, and can you keep your hand on your chest, and can you say that this is what you accept? That you are pure awareness. You are not this body-mind complex. You are uninvolved. You are a witness. And you have total acceptance to whatever is happening around us. And you have unconditional love for all the beings. If you say yes to all these things, you are already free. That is freedom. Freedom is from the mind only. Because mind has all the impurities which makes you as a person. And let the mind have its own tricks. Let the mind try to produce bondages. You don't get into trap. You don't follow the mind. You don't follow the advices of the mind. As a doctor, I come across people for whom I have so much of compassion. You know, there are people who suffer from mental health issues. Speak to them. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorders. They have obsession with thoughts. When they tell you the thought, you will not believe. So ugly, so bad thoughts. And sometimes they stop at the thought level. But on other occasions, they have compulsion to act on their thoughts. And then comes the real problem. Because they can kill others, they can do a lot of bad behaviors with others or on their own body. Where does it come from? Where these thoughts come from? Who creates these thoughts? All mental health issues, what is this? And we trust this mind in spite of seeing mental health disorders all around us. We trust this mind so much. What is mind? Only bundle of thoughts. We need to know what is the real enemy. Real enemy is residing in us. It's a parasite. And this parasite gets bigger and bigger because of our interest in it. Interest in the mind and its thoughts. It takes energy from us only. It is not a symbiotic relationship. It's a parasitic relationship. It feeds on us. You take out the plug of your attention to the mind and its thoughts, and it will die soon. Put this plug back into the awareness, into the attention to the awareness, and don't give any energy to the mind, and see what happens. The mind will disappear in no time. Not even a trace of the mind will be left. You are pure awareness. You are always pure awareness. How long you need to practice this? till you are practicing it, that means that there is something left. Because practice will drop on its own. Because the moment you abide in awareness, it is like an alert, vigilant state of pure bliss and contentment. It is like heaviness in the head, that luggage on the head is all gone. This body feels so light because the weight is only of the ego, which is always interested in the body, This had, if you see the language of people, sometimes people come to see a doctor and they have a long list. I saw a person today, there was one page and the second page and the third page. And then I thought, should I ask more questions? Then I found that out of those 40 complaints, still there were few I could ask. And I asked, she said, yes, I forgot to write it down. And what is this? All the time focus on the body. There's tingling here, there's tingling here, there's pain here, there's stiffness here, More you focus on body, more body will say that, you will feel everything, and you will feel everything is abnormal. Same is with the mind. You pay attention to the mind, and mind will take you, into the la la land. You will be confused completely, You will have distorted image of the people around you and the things around you, and more you go, more you will become confused. You are just a visitor in this body-mind complex. Stay as a visitor, stay as a guest. Guest doesn't interfere too much. You go into a hotel room, you stay for a night, you just use it and then you leave it. You don't care what is happening around that much. Stay like that. Don't touch anything. Don't touch too much of body, mind. You are awareness. Stay awareness. Enjoy what the brings. Good food. Enjoy it. Relish it. Whatever is happening. Good clothes. People. Good people. Bad people. Just see everything and just move on. Because this body is for very short time. You were in awareness, then you came into the body, then you are awareness. But if in awareness you start thinking your body mind, then you're gone case. This is the trap. Then another body mind will come for you. Then another will come. Understand this truth and just stay as a witness. So all the illusion finishes with this body mind. And you don't have to go back again. Now look, we are in such a good position, isn't it? We were given a level of IQ by which we can understand all these things. Then we were given this desire to be free. Then we found the right teachings. Then we had a satsang, a group which is trying to do it. You have ticked all the boxes. Then what is wrong? Nothing is wrong. Finish it this time only. Don't leave it for next birth or next day, I should say, or next moment even. If you're not convinced, and if you think what I am saying is not truth, then try to find the truth. Try to find your own truth. I'm not saying about it that you have to stop here. But if you have understood it, then finish it now. Don't postpone it. Because what can be the best moment to finish it? You need, like in Hindus, a Muhurat, a day, a auspicious day. Just finish it. Every day, every moment to finish this ego, body, mind, complex concept is the best day. Don't postpone it. And finish it and sleep at night as if there is no night. Just take it. And nothing to worry, because this fearlessness comes when you know that nothing can even touch you. What can harm you? You're not in the body mind. Body mind is in you. Ocean, you are not the ocean. Ocean is in you. Kabir have said the most perfect way. He said that drop is not in the ocean. Ocean is in the drop. Understand this truth. All this talk is not for the mind. Remember this. It is for you. You, the pure awareness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om.